It's the default action of our era. It's a reflex. When you're waiting in line for coffee, when you're on the toilet, when there's a 3-second lull in a conversation, you take out your phone and do this. We scroll. It feels endless because it is. There are no stopping cues, no bottom of the page, just a continuous stream of dopamine, delivered endlessly until your thumb cramps or your battery dies. But the internet didn't always look like this. Before scroll took over, the web was a series of discrete rooms. You'd read 10 items, you get to the bottom of the page, and then you had to make a conscious decision. You had to click next. It was a friction. It was a natural break in the flow. It gave your brain a split second to ask, do I really want to continue doing this? And back in 2006, for designer Asa Raskin, that friction was a design failure. Asa Raskin isn't a villain. He didn't set out to steal our attention spans or create an addiction. In fact, he comes from web royalty. His father, Jeff Raskin, started the Macintosh project at Apple. Asa grew up believing that computers should serve humanity and not the other way around. In the mid-2000s, Asa was running an interface company called Humanized. His driving philosophy was about removing barriers. He wanted to make the interaction between human and machine invisible. He was looking at the state of reading content online and it annoyed him. Think about reading a physical book. When you finish a page, turning it is muscle memory. It doesn't break your concentration. But online, clicking next page was like hitting a speed bump. The page would go white, the browser would reload, you'd lose your place. Asa's desire was simple, almost noble. He wanted to create flow. He asked the question that would change the internet forever. Why should the user ask for more content? Why can't the content just exist and appear when the user is ready for it? Today, this seems obvious. But 15 years ago, browsers weren't built for this. The internet was a request and response system. You'd ask for a page, the server sends the page. The tension Asa faced was technical limitation versus design ambition. If you just loaded thousands of items onto a single page in 2006, you'd crash the browser. It would use too much memory, it would take 10 minutes to load. So how do you make the page feel infinite without actually loading infinity all at once? He had to find a way to trick the system. He needed the browser to be smarter than the user realized. He needed it to predict the future. The breakthrough was elegant. It relied on something called Ajax, a way for the browser to talk to the server in the background without reloading the whole page. Asa realized that as the user scrolled near the bottom of the page list, he could trigger a silent request. Hey server, they're almost at item 20. Send items 21 through 30 right now. That was my American accent, by the way. By the time your thumb reached the bottom, the new content was already there waiting for you. It worked, and he called it infinite pagination. When he first implemented it on a few blogs and search results, it felt magical. The friction was gone. The interface had disappeared. You were just consuming. It was a massive leap forward in usability, and like most great inventions, it was quickly adopted everywhere. Twitter adopted it, then Facebook, then everyone. The next button had died a quiet death. Asa has succeeded in creating seamlessness, but in removing the friction of the click next, he had also removed the only stopping cue we had left. We moved from a web of utility to a web of endless consumption. And this is where the story turns, because what Asa Raskin designed as a tool for efficiency became the psychological foundation of the attention economy. He didn't just invent a scrolling mechanism, he accidentally invented the world's most effective slot machine. It's called variable reward. You pull down to refresh, you scroll to see what's next. Sometimes it's boring, sometimes it's a dopamine hit, like a funny video, an outrageous headline. Because you never know what's coming next, you keep pulling the lever. Today, Asa Raskin is one of the loudest voices warning against the very technology he helped pioneer. He is a co-founder of the Center for Humane Technology. He spends his life trying to undo the damage of the infinite scroll. He realized that by making consumption effortless, he robbed us of that moment of choice. I do think about Asa's story a lot when I look at my own phone habits. It's a reminder that good design doesn't always mean fast design. Sometimes we need friction. We need speed bumps. We need that split second where the page turns, giving us the chance to realize that our eyes are tired and it's time to go to sleep. The infinite scroll isn't going away. It's the architecture of the modern web, but we don't have to be passive victims to it. We can reintroduce our own friction. We can set time limits, we can turn off notifications, we can choose to stop scrolling, even when the app is begging us to continue. The internet is infinite, our time on Earth isn't.